Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy if you're new here. Thanks so much for coming. And if you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. So today we're going to do a 40-week pregnancy update video. If you normally follow my channel, you'll know that I am pregnant with baby number 5. And today is my official estimated due date. So I just want to start out by saying I'm using, quarantine makes you do weird things. Like buy new cameras and try out lav mics. I'm doing both of those things today. I got a new camera and I'm using a new microphone. Forgive me if I seem scattered during this video. This is the second time I filmed it because, as it turns out, the first time I didn't plug the microphone in correctly. So I had this amazing video that was super fluid and I sounded like I knew what I was talking about, and there's no audio. So this is take number 2. Okay, so we're just going to jump into the update. Like I said, 40 weeks. He is fully developed. He is the size of a small pumpkin. Let's just all think about that for a second. Small pumpkin inside my body has to come outside my body. Okay. Great visual. So if you're into 80s and 90s nostalgia, he is the size of a Build-A-Bear, which doesn't sound much more comfortable than a small pumpkin. But there you have it. So he's fully developed. There's not a lot that's changed on that front. Right now he's just basically growing brain cells, maybe putting on a few more fat cells. But otherwise he's ready to go whenever he's ready. Or whenever the good Lord's ready. Or whatever. Hopefully somebody's got that date penciled in somewhere, because somebody knows when he's gonna come out and it's not me. I still feel like he's smaller than Lily was. She was the last baby that I had, baby number 4, and she was like 9 pounds 3 ounces. So I feel like he's smaller than that, even though I'm further along. Like he just, and maybe I'm just not remembering correctly, but he feels smaller. I'm guessing I would put him at around like 8.5, 9 pounds, but we'll see. My other babies have all been, Emma was the smallest and she was my first, and she was 7 pounds, 15.5 ounces, so 8 pounds for all intents and purposes. And then Lily was my largest and she was 9 pounds 3 ounces. The boys were both like 8, Alex was 8'8" and Jacob was 8'4". So I feel like 8.5 to 9 pounds is probably right around where he's at. Because, you know, he has had a little longer to cook. The other ones all came out before that. He is not. I've had some prodromal labor so far. Nothing major. I had one night last week where I was just like I was awake most of the night. Not most of the night. For the last half of the night I was awake. I was feeling very crampy, lower back pain. Just really felt like it might be early labor. But I managed to fall back asleep. And when I woke up, there was nothing. So that's exciting. Keeps you on your toes. I thought for sure he was going to come. I have thought this entire pregnancy that surely I would never make it to 40 weeks. How could I possibly get to 40 weeks? I never go to 40 weeks. But here I am. As my dear, dear friend pointed out, nothing about this pregnancy has been typical. I feel like I have been just given a lot of perspective, had to put a lot of my trust in God and not me necessarily. I've learned a lot of lessons. I have had a lot of moments where I've just had to kind of let go. So why should my due date be any different? If you're curious about any of those things, I do have update videos from prior to this. You can go back and watch. And a couple of other videos that kind of go along with it. But basically, we had been trying for this baby for 2.5 years and then ended up doing IVF to maintain, what word am I looking for? Achieve, there we go, to achieve pregnancy. So this was an IVF pregnancy. Everything's been different. I had debilitating nausea, which I've never had before. I usually throw up a lot, but I can kind of work through it. I didn't throw up that much this pregnancy, but I was literally, when I say debilitatingly nauseous, I mean literally debilitatingly nauseous. I couldn't get up and move and do anything because I was so nauseated and I felt so sick and so tired all the time. And I've had, issues with blood pressure, issues with healthcare and finding a provider and keeping a provider, and we've moved, and there's been so many things that just are not typical. So, I should have expected to go to 40 weeks. I should have known. Physically, I feel good. I don't feel like a lot of discomfort or pain or anything like that. I do get some round ligament pain, particularly if I sit in the same position for too long and then go to get up, then I'm still having the round ligament pain. But I haven't had a lot of the other discomforts, which I feel like it's a huge blessing. If I have to go to 40 weeks, at least I don't have to do it in huge amounts of discomfort, right? Right. Okay. So I have had some round ligament pain. Otherwise, I've had, you know, prodromal labor here and there, usually only for a few hours, and then it kind of stops and it's not producing much. So, I mean, I'm not like sitting here in labor and just trying to fool y'all. Like, I'm literally like, there's nothing going on. So yeah, we're just hanging out, kind of waiting to see when he's coming out. I've been trying to conduct myself with, you know, strength and dignity and all that, but I feel like I'm actually probably asking for grace and forgiveness more than I would like to be. It is what it is. I recognize that I'm cranky, and I will tell my husband, I'm sorry, I'm really cranky, but I don't seem to be able to turn it around very well. So I think a lot of that is, one, that, like I said, that mindset that I had that, oh, I'll never go to 40 weeks. I've never been 40 weeks before. You know, it's never gone that long, and we've always had a plan. And so I didn't imagine myself being here. And so I think I set myself up to be disappointed, which I tried telling myself I wasn't going to do, but it's hard. And also, we are today on day 28 of voluntary self-isolation. We have not been out to social functions or gatherings or play dates or coffee dates or dinner dates or any sort of dates or anything for 28 days. Tim was going to work for the beginning part of those 28 days, but he was going in and setting up laptops for executives at his company so that they could work remotely, and then he's been home since then. So he's had to go into work twice in those 28 days, but just to do physical computer stuff that has to be done in person, repairing fans or whatever, you know, whatever it is that he has to do in person. He's had to go in twice, but otherwise we've all been here for 28 days. And that, I mean, that takes an emotional toll anyway. Like, I love you all, but 28 days with nobody else is a lot. So we've gone out to like go grocery shopping or whatever, but I think the combination of the craziness that's in the world right now, and also like the one thing we've been looking forward to, like, well, at least we know that we'll get to meet the baby. And then that hasn't happened yet. It's kind of compounding the issue. Also, it's hard because I'm disappointed because my sister was supposed to like literally be here right now, like sitting with me right now. And she's not. She rescheduled her flight. She was coming from Washington State, which at the time had a higher infection rate from this virus than our state did, but now it's kind of the reverse. Washington is like getting their crap together, and my state not so much. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's crazy times. Quarantine and giving birth in a time of quarantine and isolation and stay-at-home orders is not what I had ever envisioned, and I think that all of that just kind of compounds. So, all of that to say, I'm trying to have a better attitude, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to probably be a little bit cranky, and my family, because they're amazing, are going to give me grace. So that's basically where we're at. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to share with you that I shared in the first time I recorded this video, but it's the second time, and now I can't remember what it is. So clearly it wasn't that vitally important. Anyway, yeah, I think that basically wraps it up. So I'm just going to show you what our 40-week baby bump looks like, and then that'll be that. So here you have it. This is baby boy at 40 weeks pregnant. He's still very much in there. Very much in there. Never mind my microphone. Sorry. Yeah, he's still just hanging out. I'd really like it if you'd come out so I could hold you. I'd rather hold you out than in. But anyway, that's where we're at. So yeah, that is everything. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you want to see my next announcement, which hopefully is not going to be a 41-week pregnancy update, but it's going to be a welcome to the world baby boy, announcement. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss that. And we will see you back here real soon for more updates. I'm also doing intermittent fasting videos, family vlogs when we go out, which we don't do anymore. Some homeschooling, some lifestyle. I just kind of like whatever I feel like filming. So if you want to not miss those, subscribe, and I will see you back here real soon.